wanted him to like try, and then for me to be like, no, you know what I mean? I wasn't gonna sleep with him. I just now I feel ugly. This is what.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and check out this compilation video. Here we go.
When your woman looks good, don't just say you look great. No. Don't say you look fine, babe. No, those words are too small. I need you to say something like, the magnitude of your beauty chokes me. You need to be creative. You need to be like, I cannot breathe again because you took my breath away. That kind of reaction is what we need.
I mean, listen, I have no issues giving a woman a compliment. If a woman looks good, she looks good. Okay, it is what it is. But for me to quote Shakespeare and get on my knees and Rapunzel, let your hair down, nah.
One look from you is more precious than gold. Let's go get some barbecue and get busy.
As a late 20s, going into my 30s, single girly, I'm struggling. I am battling between, yes, girl, you're so super independent. Like, go off. Yeah, have your high standards. And then I'm struggling between, like, I need a man. I need a man. Not just any man. A good man. How are you going to go do that? Go put yourself out there. But how does one do that? Because dating apps ain't it. They ain't it. And whenever a man flirts with me, I pull this. They say they flirt, and I'm like, Anyway, yeah, so I don't know, but it's getting really hot out here in Arizona, and people are by the pool, couples are by the pool, and they're like flirting and hanging all over each other, and it's kind of hot. And I just think back to that feeling, and that feeling is kind of unmatched. I'm not gonna lie. When you have a good connection and you're like, oh yeah, water, pool, hot, sun, tan, abs. Like, what the fuck? One night stand is out of the question. I know that, like, that's not how we're supposed to function as a society, but like that was so 27 of me. What is the answer here? Does your girl get lower standards? Does she keep them high forever and then just use what's in her nightstand? Or does someone eventually just pop up? You know, like, I'm struggling.
You could really tell she's battling between being a modern woman and biology. Okay, biology is telling her to find a husband, settle down, and live happily ever after. Meanwhile, the sisterhood wants her to be a boss babe and be independent. The whole talking point settling for a man is so outdated, it's not even funny. It is single-handedly keeping these modern women single AF.
I went on a date with this guy, and he was like, it's getting late. Do you want to come back to my place? And I was like, sure, but I'm not going to sleep with you. Like, that's not happening. And he was like, that's totally fine. Just come over. And I was like, cool. So I go to his place. He respects my wishes. He's so nice. He cuddles me all night. And I'm like, are you gay? Like, what? And like, I just wanted him to like try, and then for me to be like, no, you know what I mean? I wasn't gonna sleep with him. I just now I feel ugly. This is what.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Okay, if he tried a thing where, you know, he's trying to rub up on you, you would have had a problem with that. Okay, now that he's respecting your wishes, you still have a problem with that.
Stop it. Get some help.
I think the best thing that I did for my dating life was to cut out all that mindless texting. All that good morning, what are you doing today? Nothing much, what about you? Oh, I'm going to go to the gym. I don't have to have another conversation even resembling that one ever again. I've had enough. I've had enough to last a lifetime. I don't need any more. That's a really good way to get like emotionally connected to a man who has actually done nothing to like earn that. So now I just let him know off rip, like I'm not a big texter, which is true for me because I really don't even text my friends that much. I don't like texting, but I'm not a big texter. If you want to get in contact with me, you can schedule a phone call, no surprise calls. We can set aside some time during the week to sit down and have a phone call and get to know each other, or you can schedule a date. It's up to you, but you're not, I do repeat, you are not going to blow up my phone with text messages. I'm I'm not the one. So not only does it like weed out the ones who really are not about it for real, because they're going to be like, oh, I don't have time to do phone calls throughout the week, or I don't have time for a date, then you don't have time for me. So it weeds out them, but it also is like, can he stick to a scheduled day? Can he keep his word? Can he call when he says he's going to call? When we're on the phone, what is he choosing to talk about? Like, what is he using this time for? Is he actually getting to know me, or are you just sitting on the phone to sit on the phone? So yeah, skip the texting, baby. Take me straight to the good stuff.
Let me know what you guys think about this one. Okay, I guess it could potentially be a positive if you're extremely busy. But if you're actively trying to get to know somebody, I don't know if this is the best course of action moving forward. Okay, if I got to schedule in a time on Friday at 7 p.m. to talk to you, I don't know. Okay, sometimes life happens, things pop up, and I don't want to remember to schedule in an appointment to talk to you. I think this is a double-edged sword. But let me know what you guys think.
I froze my eggs at 36. I did it at an extremely reputable place, had a good result. And the fertility doctor was like, you're good. And so I just kind of thought I had time. And I thought that I could put my life together. Ideally wanted to meet someone who I felt was going to be a good parent. And I did that at 40. Around 41, we decided to fertilize the eggs, and none of them worked. You know, I think this is an important conversation in itself, how much clinics are overselling the egg freezing success. And now we're starting to see results. This is not to suggest people shouldn't do it. It's just to make sure that you're doing your own research. You know, then I went to get my fertility measures checked, which I think everyone should do over the age of even 30. My fertility was dismal. And the doctors said, we'll try a round. You should look at donor egg or adoption. And so we did a round, didn't get much. And then he said, you know, let's start to go in a different direction. And I was like thinking to myself, if I had only tried once at everything that was important to me, right? Like I would have done nothing. Right. And this was maybe the most important thing.
You can tell she's kind of emotional about it. You know, modern women are being sold an idea that you can go ahead and freeze your eggs and, you know, don't worry about it. Go ahead and live your life. Go have a career, and there's going to be eggs waiting for you. And the reality is it's not guaranteed. It's not 100%. Freezing your egg should be the last resort. It should not be your first resort. You would want to find a man and do it the old-fashioned way and try to see if you guys can make it work. Okay, worst case scenario, if there's complications or, you know, there's some sort of medical reason why you can't have kids, yeah, I could understand freezing your eggs and maybe going through that process, trying to manipulate a scenario of having kids. I could see why that would be beneficial. But again, to freeze your eggs and to have that as your first resort, thinking that's 100%, that's crazy.
I went on a date with somebody and he practically called me broke. We went out like once, twice. Now he is older than I am, right? But I don't think that has any excuse to like call a college student broke. You know, you decided that you wanted to date college students, so I just told him I'm out for the night. His response was, how are you going out when you don't have a job? ... Bold.
I mean, that's a fair question. Now, I don't know if I would come out and ask the question, but it's definitely something to think about, okay? Because if you're a college student, which you're broke, which is understandable, but if you're constantly going out every night or every other night, you got to ask yourself, who's funding the campaign?
Unless someone else is paying, not bold. I was so confused at that message. I'm like, huh? And there were so many other comments made that I don't even want to talk about, because how you just say something like that? And I am reading that message, and my response was lol. Question mark. What is wrong with the men of this generation? Well, not even this generation, the older generation. I quickly removed myself from that situation because it had no way in hell that I was going out with him a second time or a third time or ever again. And it just goes to show men from any generation, they're all a bunch of disappointment. Any and everything gives me the ick. Like, I just came out a long-term relationship and I just started back dating. But why is it so hard to date nowadays? Why? I have another date tonight, so we'll see how that goes.
All right, guys, so there you have it. Okay, easy come, easy go. On to the next. Okay, as she's telling a story about one guy, she's getting ready for another. Okay, that's the cold world that we live in. And if he's an older gentleman financing when y'all go out and he's spending hundreds of dollars and things of that nature, he's probably wondering who else is in the mix. Okay, I'm not doing this for nothing. And if I'm spending a whole bunch of money and you're going on a whole bunch of dates, it's not worth it. Okay, I don't think he really cares that you're going out. It's just more so who else is in the equation. And if you have a whole bunch of guys in the mix, what's the point? But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Go ahead and provide me some feedback. And until next time.